All right.
That surprised me. I thought the countdown would have been 5. John and I are in the studio getting ready. So take your seats, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and I'll be with you in a moment. The video you're watching, made, created, and designed using Invideo. And take that away and come over to myself and John and say, good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Stephen.
And see, I was talking to Roland earlier on Periscope, and the conversation's carrying on now. So Roland's come over from Periscope to Facebook. Thank you, Roland. And he's on British Rail. He's on a train today. And he says British Rail tea is yuck. Yes, I remember British Rail tea. Do you, John?
Yeah, but we haven't had a British Rail for 20 years. But
yeah, I know. But I say the same. It will always be British Rail. It will always be, no matter how you construe it. It's going to be British Rail. So welcome, Roland. And thank you for joining. And right, okay, John, what are we going to talk about this week?
I've done a little video that has 3 different sections to it. The first is prompted by a discussion yesterday on the difference between the advanced editor and the it's not called the standard editor, it's called the storyboard in the middle type of and you've got templates, create stories, and you've got blanks. I'm always a blank person, but
I'm blank too most of the time.
There was a discussion about why did the storyboard have a feature that isn't in the main editor, and I kind of tried to cover that in here. I did try and cover it in the discussion last night, but it ain't the same as actually showing it in real life, and that in fact the storyboard has a great deal of limitation, and then if doing it in the advanced editor allows you to do lots and lots of things. Then one of the other topics that's come up 4 times in the last 10 days is, how do I make flashing text? Well, I told a man to buy a coat, but that didn't go down.
Yeah, no, that you can't tell that this time of day.
The second section is about how to make text flash, and I've done it in different colors, but you see it'll cover all that. And then the last section is lots of people who are going, how do I change the shape and size of my video? Well, the truth is we covered that back in December. And I've taken the video we did in December and stuck it right on the end of what we're talking today. So it's about 15 minutes long in total, and we're going to see it from YouTube. And I've got fingers, toes, everything crossed, because the 2 goes we've had at doing this haven't worked.
Well, I can tell you, I've listened to it too. I turned the volume up a bit, but it plays well. So without further ado, John and I are going to disappear temporarily, and the video will go full screen, and we're going to press play. And this video is stored on YouTube. We're on Be Live, and we can play YouTube videos.
Look at how you can do advanced text editing on the video. The advanced text editing you're going to see here will work in the other sections as well. But I just want to show how you can do a simple split of text in the articles video, but if you slip into the advanced editor, which is the main editor for the blank template, you can do much more. Okay, so first of all we're going to click article to video, we're going to stick YouTube landscape, and to be honest with you, I'm not really too bothered, so I'm going to just pick template, and I want to do something simple really. This is counting money. Okay, and then I'm going to add my story. It's going to be really simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I'm going to let it auto suggest images. I'm not using option 2 or 3, so we'll just hit next, and that will go away and hopefully come back in a few moments with a suggested video for me. Got to loading 99%, and there we are. So this is counting money, and we've got suggestions for 1, 2, 3 and 4, but we didn't get a suggestion for this is counting money, which surprises me because there's plenty of pictures of people counting money. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, I'm not really bothered about that. I want to take one of these and I want to edit the text, and then I want to talk to you about using the text splitter. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to put here, this is the number 2. Okay, so I've got a bit of a sentence now, and if I go over here you can see place the cursor where you want to split. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to hit the split, and now you will see that I have 2 pieces of text, but they're still one item, and that's the important thing, because if we look at it in the advanced editor you'll see that they're one item, which means you can't treat them separately and differently. So what I'm going to do is show you how, if you go into the advanced editor, what you can do. But before I do that, let's show you just how this works. Okay, so now we're back, having seen what the storyboard does. I've put it back to how it was, and so let's go into the advanced editor. Okay, and we were on scene number 3. So here's my text, and what can I do? Well, I can go to layers and I can duplicate it. So I can do Control C and I can do Control V, and now I've got this. Okay, so now I can edit it as I like. So on this one I could make this is, and on this one I could edit to say number 2. So now we have 2 distinct items. This is a number 2, and you can see there those are the named layers, and you can do edit those. Let's say for instance go to number 2 and let's edit it, go to 2 and we can highlight it. So we've highlighted it there. If you want to change the colours of the highlight, we can go to colours, change the highlight colour into any colour we like from here. Let's go yellow. Okay, and so we can put them on top of each other, and then we can go into the advanced timeline and change when one comes on and one goes off. Yeah, so these are each set for the whole length, let's change it so that this lasts until 14 seconds, and let's change it so that this is the number 2 starts at 14 seconds. So if we play the scene, and number 2. Okay, so let's go back and look at that. We could have them come so they're underneath each other just by moving it. So this is number 2, and if we turn on the grids, so those are the grids. Now the grids have the great advantage that we can snap to a grid. Yeah, and we can move it round, and then we could change layers and also make sure that that snaps to the same grid. Yeah, so if we click through to the other layer, let's pop to the advanced timeline, it's much easier there. Advanced timeline, you can see that we have the alignment in exactly the same place. Okay, so grids are really useful for making alignments. One of the things I've recently seen a number of questions about is how do I make flashing text. So what I've done here is I've gone into the make your own start from scratch, and here's my default scene, and what I've done is add my logo, and I've changed the words into the words flashing text, and I've put the grid on. Let's turn the grid off for the moment, and I'll show you why I've turned the grid on in a moment. So I've got flashing text. It was 10 seconds long, and I've cut it down to just 1 second, so I can have 10 items of flashing text. Now, a bit like Blue Peter, that's a TV program in England for children where they make things in advance. I've done the same here. So if we go to layers, you'll see that I've used Control-C and Control-V to copy the layers, and there they are. If you haven't used it, it's really simple. Highlight what you want, use Control-C, use Control-V, and you get another one, and you can then drag it and line it over the top. Now that's pretty good, but if you use the grids, you can be more accurate in your lineup. So this one wants to go up slightly, and to just move it a pixel at a time, use the arrows on your keyboard. Yep, so you can see that the circles here are being split 50%. Okay, I actually don't want that scene because I've pre-prepared everything, so I'm just going to delete that. Okay, so now we've got 10 1-second flashing texts, and if we go back, you'll see, can't see them. Let's just go into the advanced timeline and then we'll see what I mean. Okay, so I've done them, and then I've just simply slid them so they fit behind each other, and you'll see there's the clicking line, and you'll feel the clicking into place. So all 10 of them are now after each other, and then what I've done is simply go on every other one and change the color. Now that's really easy. You simply select the layer you want. You can either select it here or you can select it in the layers, and then you go to edit, select your color, and here we've got a red box. If we click on the next one, we've got a white, a blue, a white, and so on. So that's how I've achieved it. It's simply 10 1-second pieces spread out one after the other in there, and I've put alternate colors in. Now you could want just one color going back and forth, so you might want to alternate between white and red, and you can do that. And again, you don't have to have 1 second. You can make them however short as you want, or longer if you want a slow beat to your flashing text. If you wanted, say, it to flash every second from red to yellow, for instance, rather than do 10 pieces, you could do 2 pieces in a scene, and then you could duplicate the scene 4 times so that you got 10 seconds of video that way. So there's all sorts of ways to play around with the flashing text. So it's simple, 10 pieces, each 1 second, each with alternating colours, each lined up in the middle, and I've showed you how you can use the grid and your cursor keys to build the lineup, and it's as simple as that. We'll show a few seconds and then I'll show you the whole video. Okay. I've also seen that a number of people are asking about how to convert a video from 16:9 to 1:1 to, if I get it right, 9:16. I did a video about that a while back, so what I'm going to do is tack that onto the end of this. Hi, I'm going to show you how you can make 3 different looks. That's to say, I'm going to have a 16:9, which I'm then going to turn into 1:1 and then into a 9:16. Okay, so you've seen the 16:9, and I created that beforehand, a bit like a already done Blue Peter one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate the 16:9, and I'm going to duplicate it as a 1:1. So if I duplicate it now, changes may not reflect, let's not worry too much about that. So now we're here. Now the first thing I want to do is crop it to screen, and I'm going to do it fit with transparency. Yeah, and then I want to crop the frame, and I'm going to crop it there. It's a 1:1, crop it and just move it a little bit to the left and hit done. So now I've got my background. I'm going to move the logo a little bit and move it up. I click on there, style, and if I look at animation, it's 76. Let's just change that to 74. Let's change this one to 74. Didn't do that properly. 74. Text style, change it to 74. And now I've got my text. I can move this up, and if I preview it, and hey presto, I've created a 1:1, and that's happened pretty quickly. So here I've done the same, but this time I've used 9:16 and just again to resize it just as I did before. So we've cropped this to 16:9 and we've changed the font sizes here, and we've moved the logo a bit of it. So I hope you find that all very useful. And that's all for today. I hope you found it useful. Any questions you've got, send them to me or Stephen, and we're always glad to help. Hello! Well, I hope people found that useful.
Right. Indeed. As with everything, I'm going to watch it back on the replay. I was busy doing things, but I was listening.
I always tried to block the sunlight.
Right. Anything new on Invideo? Anything new on Invideo recently, apart from
the horrible white?
Apart from the whiteness.
It's made for Essex men. I've agreed that with Kev, that it's for Essex men, because everything has to be white in Essex. And there's a whole.
Roland says it was very useful. So.
Yeah, there's a whole series of them, Roland. And we're just in the midst of putting them up on a specific YouTube channel, so as they can easily be found.
No, but we can try, Roland. We can try multitasking. We can try. Not that we're going to succeed like the ladies do, but yeah. Okay. So will the white background, the whiteness disappear, you think?
No, I think we're going to get skins, basically, and we'll be able to choose between black or white, like you can on many products. At least that's the intimation of the words that we've seen to date. But no, new things. It was an interesting, not quite an hour bit with Steve Dotto last night. I'm growing to like Steve Dotto because I keep telling people I hadn't heard of him before.
See, never hearing of him.
Yeah. Anyway, had a substitute speaker last night because the person booked couldn't make it, and I can't pronounce her name, but she did a good job talking about live video. But she failed to mention Be Live, which is a disgusting mistake.
No, she wouldn't mention Be Live. They're coming. Luria and David are from the high end. They've been around long before Blab and Be Live, and they use things like vMix and XSplit and OBS, to do their broadcasts, and they use.
Yeah, an A6100 camera.
And there you are.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much.
Yeah.
But the cheapest I can find it in the UK is £999.
I checked it out too. It is expensive, and then you'd have to get CamLink as well to actually link it, or what's the software called? SparkerCam.
Yeah.
Either of those would actually be able to link your camera.
Well, I've got
her name is
You keep disappearing, Stephen.
Her name is Luria Petrucci. I'm still here.
No, I
think I'm here. Roland, am I here? That's the question.
You're here, but your voice keeps disappearing.
Oh, right. Okay.
You are?
Roland, how does it sound live? Right. Okay. Well, if you want to talk about something for a minute, I'll refresh.
Okie doke. I'm not sure what I want to talk about. Well. There is a document link that Abelish I'm never sure if I pronounce his name right. Abelish put into the thread last night that gives you a link to a downloadable document with some great ideas about backgrounds. And it doesn't just say this is pretty, that is pretty. What it does is take cases from different people of how they've set up their backgrounds. And this is backgrounds, not, I think I'll have a nice tree like Stephen's got, which I'd be very pleased to have in my garden, but they've created scenes of their own in the background with objects and words and things like that.
Yeah, it would to get this tree to you, I would have to, I don't know, it would be very difficult. So you'd have to make do with a photograph, really.
I bought 2 cherry trees, blossom cherry trees, a few weeks ago, but they're a lot smaller than that one.
Right. Okay. Now, as you know, I'm busy creating countdown clocks. If you go to Google and you type in Showcaster Countdown, you'll see all the clocks. But this is one that Angelica commissioned, as it were. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it full screen, and we can carry on talking as we watch the hamsters.
Doesn't it make you feel sorry for the poor hamster?
But hamsters in general, I think. I'm going to turn the volume down a bit. I don't know what it's like out there, but it's pretty loud in here.
All that peddling and you're not getting anywhere.
That's true, so you better get off and just have a look around and say, let me out! No, I'm going back on the wheel. So this countdown clock is free. Just type Showcaster Countdown in Google and you'll see all the videos. You can use them in your live broadcast as a countdown to start. I'm enjoying making them. I'm doing 6 a week until we have 36. And then the 36 will then be released. I'm going to hide that. Will then be released as Downaware. Now, Downaware, if you've never heard the term before, I don't blame you. Basically, if you write software, then you can charge for it, or you can ask people to sponsor you to do it, or you can say this is Downaware, and there will be on the page itself a little button you can click, and you can donate to the NSPCC in the UK if you enjoy using the videos. So it's part of paying back. And I'm so enjoying doing them. I do 3 of them on a Friday, 3 on a Saturday, and then have fun taking them around Facebook and YouTube and Vimeo and everywhere they'll go. And as I say, I'm quite proud that after 3 weeks, if you do type Showcaster Countdown into Google, you will find them. Now, I'm not going to put them all in the Invideo group. That would be silly. But I might put a playlist there because you're all more than capable of actually creating your own, really.
Yeah. Roland, you don't normally see the reel behind because we use XSplit like Stephen's using to hide the background. But I've had a new machine because my old one blew up and I haven't got around to putting XSplit on it. But I'm going to do that after this, so there's no more chance about my polyfiller, because it's the back of the chair that keeps grinding away the wall.
Yeah. And Roster is going to send you a box of polyfiller, John.
Yeah, well, that's what I was replying to.
Figured the comment, yeah. And let's bit like people at work. Okay, well, I've got more countdown clocks, but I think between the video and the countdown clocks, and Roland says he loves to tease. Indeed, there you are. So it's all meant in good humor, and it's taken in good humor as well. Okay, right. Well, it's a beautiful sunny day outside still. Are you going to the allotment?
No, I've got a load of work to do here. I'm potting on dahlias, veg seedlings, you name it. So no, I'm not going near the allotment today.
Okay. Right.
The chickens in the back garden.
Oh, they're coping. They've got plenty of water, plenty of food, and they're happy. 3 eggs a day at the moment, which is pretty good going. And that's 21 eggs a week, and we eat about 6. So there you have it. We've got plenty. But we can't sell them. We can't sell them because to sell them, there are certain regulations you've got to adhere to, and we spoil them. So we get to keep the eggs.
Away, can't you?
Sorry?
You can still give them away.
Oh, well, I don't know. And Roland is saying there's a German proverb: the one teased is the one loved. There you are.
Well, we'll be having Angelica on here next if we're not careful mentioning German.
Angelica's teaching at the moment as we speak. so she can't join us. But it's a German lesson tonight, and
you're getting yours. Is it Angelica and Stephen tomorrow afternoon, or
no, not this week. Not this week. Angelica's created a video which will be on YouTube tomorrow midday, but it's an alternate weeks. So this week it's video, next week it will be Ask Angelica, and then the video, and that's the way it goes. Right? Because if we went live, it keeps it fresh. That's what I'm saying. That's probably true. John, it's over to you.
Well, it's the usual task that I get at the end of everything, and that's to say goodbye from my friend in Wiltshire and goodbye from me in the West Midlands. Surrey Home, that is.
I'm quite impressed by the hands there, considering I don't have any lights on. Oh, right. Yes, but you don't have a green screen. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And that woman last night, she was panning green screens, but never mind.
Well,
I've got one. I just never got around to banding it up behind me.
Yeah, they're purists, John.
Sorry?
They're purists. They don't do this.
The microphone she recommended, the Samsung, not Samsung, Samsung 4-track, G-track, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's just shy of £200 in the UK.
Yeah.
She said $99. Well, I know we get a bit of a mismatch, but not the. Anyway, we've already said goodbye, so we're going to say goodbye again. See you all next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.